Hi all, Sonia here again, and as promised, I'm here to show you this another rose journal, but I don't call this one a vintage rose. I just call it a rose journal, and isn't that a huge difference? um, this one is more white, as you can see, and I'm filming during the day. Hooray! It has a sturdy cardboard cover, front and back, but it has a soft spine and 4 signatures. And here on the front, it has the same napkin, it's just turned the other way. It's also decoupaged on a piece of cardboard and stitched to the cover with this old lace, like doilies actually underneath. And the only difference is I left it white. I didn't distress it on anything to make it look kind of vintage. It's just white. And okay, so the closure, of course, is one of my favorite, organza ribbon, of course, yeah. This is, as you can see, a corrugated cardboard, and it's strengthened definitely because not only does it have this paper on the inside, the same paper as the Vintage Rose journal. Those were the two things, by the way, that inspired me, like that paper and the napkin, to make these journals. But I painted the cardboard with white gesso. Then I added glued down and stitched a vintage music sheet. Doesn't really show that much, but it's enough. You can see some bits here and there just for the overall effect. And the cardboard is, of course, semi stripped, should I say. And then I have these doilies and a rose. And on the back, it's a collage, again, simple one, corrugated cardboard, same papers on the inside, and then there is music paper, some vintage ledger, a doily that Renee sent to me, and another rose decoupage. This time it's oval, and I really, really love how it turned out. And because it has fabric spine with cotton fabric and lace, it moves like that. It's not really sturdy all around, but it is sturdy as far as reinforcement go, because it's not only stitched everywhere, I also added lace and some eyelash, this eyelash yarn, and it's definitely not going anywhere. And it's a little bit fat, but I think it's okay. It can lay nice and flat, so I really love how this turned out. Here on the first page, this is a recycled coffee dyed, I don't know, probably like a gift bag or something, but it's a craft paper. And I made this fabric tag. It's cotton, front and back. It has also paper on the front. And this heat embossed, like a shabby butterfly, sequins, my crochet flower and this vintage flower, and here just some lace and yarn and older threads. And I really, really like how that came out. What am I trying to do here? So that's that. Then here I have some coffee sprayed or stained papers, handmade paper, eco-dyed, coffee-dyed, of course, and some book pages that I stitched together. Here is a lace pocket, as you can see, and a simple tag with some nice collage pieces, laces, and digital prints, and it goes there in that pocket. The book pages are gessoed. This is a large bag. There is, I think, nothing inside. It's for you to add things to it. And another collage. This is a real vintage photo. It was a huge photo on a huge piece of chipboard, type of frame or something. But it was so big that I couldn't use it, so I decided to just rip it in several pieces. And then it's a beautiful photo of a, like a children's class with a teacher, and very old. And I just took a piece of that cheesecloth music paper book page, another piece of embossed vellum, and my crocheted flowers. And I think it looks really cute. And it has a lot of space for you to add things to. Again, as in the previous journal, I tried really to make every page, different. So, or at least I used the papers that will add to that effect. And this is a digital print, and I love these roses. My eco-dyed papers. These are some images of vintage postcards that are like enlarged insanely, and a vintage image on the other side of this nice building, and it just had some writing here, so I covered it with my, of course, glittery tape, purplish handmade paper, and my handmade envelope with a little collage of lace and hearts, and nothing on the inside. Eco-dyeing. There's that other side of that image with glitter tape. I really like it. It just adds a simple touch, and it covers, whatever you don't want to see. Eco-dyeing. That lovely rose paper. Here is a vintage postage stamp on some cheesecloth type of fabric, and the journaling card. There's the other side of the stitched and gessoed book pages, and you can see the other side of that lace that created a pocket there. And it's a journaling card that Dana has sent to me. She also sent me these beautiful tiny envelopes, and I didn't glue them down. I just added this Gibbet inspired specimen little thing. It's a hydrangea flower inside, and this cute little printout, so that goes there. And of course you can add other things to it. This is I have a new die cut set with these cute little birds, and I really love them. Another fabric tag, this time with vintage paper, as the previous one, but this time with a real leaf decoupaged on some cardstock and a vintage flower there. A little journaling card that I made, and another vintage stamp here in this pocket. And this is also recycled craft paper. Here is Artie Mae's envelope. It's a beautiful collection. I really like this. And inside is a nice little journaling card and a piece of vintage ephemera from 1944. And you can, of course, either write on the back like this, or glue a piece of paper and turn it into a journaling spot, or just leave it, because it's, it's fun to have something from a different time or era. And more nice papers, and these are actually papers from an adult coloring book, and I chose ones with flowers, at least on this side, but they're really, really beautiful. And you can, of course, write there maybe with a red pen or, you know, blue pen, or you could just have fun coloring or just leave them as they are. But they are really interesting. I mean, to me, that is. This is lovely digital print. I purchased this from an Etsy shop, and I'm sorry, I don't know the name of that shop now. If you're interested, I could give you the link afterwards. But it's beautiful. It's like a crackled paint on wood, and I really like it. Another digital print with my tiny crocheted flower here. More nice papers, beautiful digi prints. Some leaves here and another crochet flower. That coloring page. Eco dyeing handmade paper. This is a paper bag. I stitched it. There's nothing here. It's also from recycled craft paper. And here, of course, you can see. Oops, sorry, I'm out of frame. Lace and some vintage looking paper, and this crochet flower, and then just a nice journaling card there. So you can add more things to it, of course. A little die cut butterfly, or half of butterfly. This is like a tuck spot. I just stapled it, a piece of vintage looking paper, and vintage postage stamp. And I love the flowers on this one. And another little cute bird. Here is another, oh, there's something inside. My handmade envelope with a little digital print, just for fun. You can use these prints, you know, to journal on them or to glue them somewhere in the journal. More of that adult coloring pages with beautiful roses. And there are flowers on this side too. Another vintage postage stamp, more digital papers, recycled papers, eco-dye papers. Here is a doily that didn't really come out very well in terms of, you know, the pieces that should come out. And that's also a new die, and it just doesn't want to cut, you know, as it should. But I decided to use it anyway because it would be a shame to, you know, toss it away, because it's fine. It has a few holes, that's it, but it's fine. And I glued it down on this side, and you can tuck something in here. But then also I added some glittery tape just because. I mean, for no reason. It's glued down already, but I don't know. I just didn't, maybe I didn't like this sharp line here. I wanted to cut it off with something. Then more nice rosy papers. Die cut leaves. Actually a leaf. My purplish handmade paper. Another piece of stationery, like in the previous journal. I'm not going to open everything up because it's going to take forever. Cute little birdie, some yellow paper, and this one has some, oh my god, I wanted to say flowers. Why flowers? Letters. It's so interesting. There's like an S, teeny tiny P. Oh, very cute. Beautiful papers again. I'm, you know, it's probably because of the spring. I'm just obsessed with flowers lately, and I want everywhere to put some flowers in every journal. This is just a cute digital stuff. This is a real vintage piece of, like a small book you get probably from the bank or something. Or maybe not now, everything is electronic now, but you know, at that time. It's from around, I think, 1940s, 50s. And then again, this lovely piece from 1940. I can't see here very well, probably 2, but I'm not sure. These are all from either 1942 or, I mean from 42 till 45, I think, tops. Here's another little bird, and stitched and gessoed book pages, and this teeny tiny envelope with nothing inside. Sometimes I add a lot of tags and things into journals, sometimes I don't. It depends on, well, when I make a journal, I let it kind of speak to me, so I just do whatever the journal says. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. Here I have some cotton lace and a little bit of bling, and you can very nicely write here, or add a photo, or add more paper clips and clip something else. This is another fabric tag. It's cotton on the back as the previous ones. It just has some lace here, cotton trim actually, and this teeny tiny crochet flower. Digital. And this is empty, and this is a very vintage fabric that unfortunately I don't know the name of, especially not in English. But I have like a book or type of an album with samples of this fabric, and that's the sample. I mean, I just folded it, of course, but that's the whole sample. And it has roses on it. Okay, let me try and show that. Can I hope you can see. And I just stitched it like a little pouch and added this cotton trim here. And I've left this original label. It's German. I don't know the year, but it's definitely really, really old. And there you have your textile envelope, or like a small pouch to add things to. And I added this huge postcard, and the year, can I see? No, there's not. No. Oh yeah, 1986. So it's not terribly vintage, but I like the flowers and, the whole look of it. But another reason why I added it is because you can use it as a writing pad if you need to add more strength to your pages. So, you can always add that to the back and write. So that goes there. That's the last page. The fabric is a little bit thicker on this side. It's just how it came out, but nevertheless I reinforced it and embellished a little bit. And so that is a rose journal. So yeah, I would like to, okay, sorry, I'm looking at the journal, I'm not looking at my phone. I would like to know what you think about it, so if you wish, leave a comment. And once again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.